Good morning, Marmite. Sorry again about Friday. So yeah, I will make sure that Friday afternoon I allocate some time. As soon as I get your videos, I'll send that through, those reviews and notes. And then obviously if you've got time, you can hit a couple more. You can get up early Saturday, hit a couple warm-ups. Adjusting or reinforcing what you've done on that Friday practice. Okay, so I do apologize for that, but we'll get into this. It's all a new routine and stuff. So we'll get into that. Right, but good session. Okay, a lot of great stuff out there, or in there, should I say. A lot of great stuff. And very interesting to see how obvious it is and where the arm depth goes. All right, so it's way more common that the arm depth leaves just as you're getting down into the hitting zone. All right, but for you, it was actually sort of more up here somewhere. All right, and as soon as we saw that, we saw the club head get then out to in. Now you try and swing on line, which you kind of have to on the golf course because you're a bit more target aware. That's the one you shank. Obviously, with the foam block there, what you were doing is kind of pulling across it a little bit and hitting some out the middle, some out the toe. Okay, but very clear to see. That being said, there were a lot more of that. So there were way more, especially when you're doing that Justin Rose drill of the club attacking there. Okay, really beautiful and neutral swing path. All right. The chipping, loved it. I really love where this is. But you can see some of them still a little bit heel side. Okay, again, I think we're just kind of a little bit lazy here. So we just kind of shuffle, keep everything where it is and just shuffle back here. Okay, and then really focus on hitting the middle of that face. Okay, but I love where the face and the angle of attack is. Okay, we obviously used to be very, very shallow with that angle of attack. So that's really, really, really good. Okay, and then L to L's. Okay, now I think the hinge, and so I keep going on about it. I think the hinge and that arm depth, that causes a bit of a shank, are so related. Okay, so we can see how quickly it goes in the L to L's. All right, so the first one quite good, and then by the third one we're back to this. All right, so it's the amount of hinge, it's also how you hinge. Okay, we don't want to hinge there. If we hinge there and the club gets behind us, then we kind of have to slide and disconnect the arms a little bit. All right, so we're going to work really hard on this hinge. All right. Okay, so that's where we're at. So a lot of good stuff. I think very similar to last week's workout, because I think that was pretty close to what we're trying to do. And then obviously we can get this and this back. Okay. It's the sequencing itself is fine. It's just not as dynamic and athletic as it was sort of a month ago. All right, but we just got to sort out this hinge and this arm dip so we hit the ball and then we can get that stuff all back. Okay, so that is where we're at. Right, so warm up again. I mean, you do a few chips if you want, but those L to L pitches, all right, and the L to L punches, right? Now, those two shots are very similar. Okay, your little 30, 40-yard pitch and then your L to L punch, very, very similar. Just difference is the club, okay? Certainly a little bit of ball position, right? But then the big difference is the punch, essentially, we're holding on to it, okay? And the pitch kind of depends, I guess, but a pitch then has a release, whereas a punch does not have a release. So everything the same, maybe the ball position a little bit. Backswing the same, tempo the same, right? But then the punch, you hold on. There's no release. Whereas the pitch, you just release the club. And then obviously speed is determined by how far you're trying to hit it, right? So just change the ball position slightly for the punch. I know in your notes is pitch first. Let's do punch first. Really, really back, L shape. Not V shape or no shape, okay? L shape, and then really turn through ahead of that ball and hold the follow through. And then go into your little pitches, L shape, but then now release it underneath. Okay. So a little lob wedge for 60-50, sixes, L shape, nice and upright, and then you just release it underneath. You should be able to hear the difference in those strikes as well. All right, so that's the little warm-up. Okay, then the first drill we're doing, okay, is just some swing reps. Okay, so just doing some swings and just trying to get some feels going. Okay, we're going to put the balls under the heels, just to make sure that we're not getting this way. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm talking about, on the backswing. Okay, so ball under the heels. You can have your foam block there if you want. Okay, get the distance, because I like what this did the week before. Okay, get the correct distance. I mean, you can use something else. You can use wedges or something like that. Let's get the distance correct. Okay, and then from there, obviously, you know your balance and you set up your center of mass. But from there, focus on the hinge. Okay, so that's what our swing reps are. Ball under the heels to move us this way. Okay, and then really set that club. Okay, so extended version of that L shape. Okay, and that's kind of what you're trying to do. So those are the swing reps. All right, and then drill number 2, that Justin Rose. I really liked it. Okay, so keep it up. All right, I would try and do a rep before each one. Okay, so a little more upright, not so deep with that sort of V hinge. Okay, and then a little bit of hips as we control the arm, because as we turn, our body's going to rotate, so the arms want to go a little bit this way, and they should go a little bit this way. Okay, but we can't have them going that way. It's kind of what we're trying to say, right? Okay, so some Justin Roses where we're focusing on the arms going straight up, straight down, but just adding a little bit of hip. All right, so straight up, a little bit of hip, straight down. Okay, and that's the Justin Rose that we're trying to do. Alrighty. Okay, so now it's just little adaptations really from last week's one, because I like it. It's achieving very much what we're trying to do. I liked a lot of those positions. Right, we do get that athletic look and feel back, and then a little more hips. But otherwise, I'm very, very happy with what was happening in that session on Friday. Okay, very, very close to what we're trying to do. Alrighty, thank you, my mates. Have a good week. You're 2 days in already, and we'll chat during the week. All right, cheers, mate.